So finally, we're ready to implement the temperature conversion part of the unit converter project. And this is actually going to prove to be a little bit simpler than what we've done before. And so what I've done is I've gone and clicked on the Assistant Editor button. You can also use Command Option Enter to get that. And I'm going to click on the main storyboard. So it shows me the main storyboard and my view controller code. I'm going to go ahead and collapse the document outline. So when we click on a value in our picker view, we want this label to be updated. So in order for me to be able, for the view controller to talk to the view, I have to make an outlet to this label, an outlet connection. So I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to control drag to the top part of my class where I can put a property. So I'm going to call this temperature label, and I'm going to leave it as UI label, and everything else will be the same, and I'll hit connect. And it makes an IB outlet property here, and you can see when I put the mouse over it, it's connected to this label. So the method we want to change is the, move this, get some space, the did select row in component. So when I select a row, I want that temperature to be updated. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to let degrees Celsius equal float. Okay, so it's going to turn into a decimal number. Temperature values, row. So if the row selected is the 0th row, it's going to give me the first value in the temperature values array. If the row is the 10th, it'll give me the 11th value in my array. Remember, arrays are 0 indexed. Okay, so this is going to give me which row I picked, and it's going to convert it to a decimal number. So I'm going to do some math on it. Now I'm going to let degrees Fahrenheit. And again, you could look up this equation on the internet. 1.8 times degrees, oops, should be degrees Celsius plus 32.0. Okay. I did type something wrong. Let me change that to E. That's better. So degrees Celsius, good. So now everything's spelled correctly. Now all that's left to do is to take the temperature label and set the text equal to a string of the value. So degrees Fahrenheit. But I'll make it, I got to convert it to an integer rather than a float because I don't want the decimals. Degrees Fahrenheit. And then I want my degree symbol. Actually, I'm just going to, well, let me just do it from here. Close that up. And F. Okay. So what this statement says is, take the degrees Fahrenheit that I calculated, cast it to an integer, put a degrees Fahrenheit after it, and set the text of my temperature label to that value. So that was just 3 lines of code. Let's go ahead and run that and see what that looks like. Okay, so it starts off saying label, but when I change it, negative 96 degrees Celsius, negative 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's change it to 0 because we know that should be 0 degrees Celsius should be 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and it is. So it looks like our app is converting it correctly. There are, however, a couple of problems with our app. I mean, again, the basic functionality works great. We have something that converts temperature, but it is not ideal. So we're going to need to make some changes over the next few lessons.